On Thursday, March 14th, 2024, the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, gave a 45-minute speech, an absolute devastating takedown of the state of Israel and a destruction of Israel's Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu. And, oh, wait a minute. It wasn't Putin who gave the 45-minute speech. It was the head of the U.S. Senate, the majority leader, Chuck Schumer. But you know what? If you read the speech or listened to it like I did, it certainly sounds like it could have been written by Putin, as it was a direct and devastating attack against Netanyahu and Israel.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has lost his way by allowing his political survival to take the precedence over the best interests of Israel. I hope and pray that from the brutal slaying of Israelis by Hamas and the harrowing civilian toll in Gaza, that a two-state solution where Jews and Palestinians can live in peace will prevail.
You know, there's a saying in Washington, D.C., that the most dangerous place in Washington, D.C. is between Senator Chuck Schumer and a television camera. The guy's a media whore, basically. He knows how to manipulate and work the press. In 1974, he graduated from Harvard Law, never practiced a day of law in his life, immediately got elected to office, and for 50 years, never held a regular job. He's been a politician. So he knows the importance of the majority leader of the United States Senate to go on the Senate floor and to read a scripted. He didn't want one word to be out of place. And like I said, that speech that he wrote, if Putin would have presented it on the 14th of March, the world would have been shocked. But they also would have realized that Putin has gone over to the other side and joined with Iran. That's how significant and devastating the speech that Senator Schumer gave on the Senate floor was and is. In fact, Al Jazeera is featuring that speech. That's a jihadi network coming out of Qatar. They're featuring that speech, Schumer's speech. Hezbollah, Hamas, Iran are praising Schumer for finally having the courage to go after Netanyahu and Israel and straighten them out. Schumer said in 45 minutes in a schizophrenic, illogically absurd, delusional, I love Bibi, I love Israel. In fact, my name's Schumer. In Hebrew, it's HaShomer, guardian. I believe I'm a guardian of Israel. This is what the guy's saying. All my life I guarded Israel. And then he goes and attacks Bibi and the state of Israel, at least according to the jihadi networks and the Jew-hating organizations in the state of our country and the situation that's going on. So what did he say? Well, you got to go watch the 45 minutes. It's really mind-boggling. But essentially, he said that there's four main problems to peace in the Middle East. The Hamas, oh, we got to stop the Hamas, oh, we have to do all of this. When in fact, his speech will allow the Hamas to stay in power and be a political and military entity. That's the illogical absurdity of what he's talking about. Then he said the right-wing politicians in Israel, oh my God, they're screwing everything up. Sounded like he was talking about Donald Trump and the conservatives in the United States. Third problem was Mahmoud Abbas. Oh, you know, he's a problem. Then he centered on his point of the speech, Benjamin Netanyahu. He said, the fourth problem is my friend, Bibi. We've been friends for so long. But you know what? Bibi's lost his way. He's gone off in the wrong direction. And headlines from that speech around the world are, hey, Bibi, if you lose Schumer, it's time to go. Or Schumer in a brutal takedown of Netanyahu and Israel. So what are we going to do? This is a critically important time for the state of Israel and for Jews worldwide. The energization of Jew haters from this speech is flowing over into the universities and other areas, synagogues where Jewish students, Jewish people are gathered. Unbelievable what Schumer did. Well, the United West has been made for such a moment as this. And for our donors, our generous donors through the years, your generous donations and money has brought us to a point where we're in the tip of the spear leadership position to have an impact to change the situation in America. And how do we do that? We have a plan on our website, Swords of Campaign. Go read it. Very detailed plan how we're going to mobilize and activate and educate Americans for the strategic goal of electing on November 5, 2024, politicians in America that are pro-America, pro-border security, so critical, particularly now with jihadis coming over, and pro-Israel. You understand that our support for Israel primarily is from a national security perspective. Israel's on the front line, the eastern edge of Western civilization, on that front line, keeping the jihadis at bay. If Israel's wiped out from the river to the sea, Iran will be between the river and the sea, destroy Saudi Arabia, take over half the world's oil supplies. Guess what soldiers have to now go to Jerusalem and Tel Aviv to fight to protect Americans, American soldiers. Thank God the Israelis are willing to fight and not ask for any men or women to come and stand with them and fight. Just assistance with the arms and elements necessary to win a war. They're there. Our goal strategically, elect politicians, president down to the Congress, and even local offices who will stand with Israel, understand national security, protect the border, and present America first in all areas. I got to believe that Senator Schumer should have presented his diatribe against Netanyahu, against the state of Israel, against the people of Israel, not on March 14th, but instead on March 15th, the Ides of March. And we all know from history on that day that Julius Caesar, his best friend Brutus, was stabbed in the back by his best friend Brutus. And he turned around, as Netanyahu probably has turned around, and said, Et tu, Brute?